people that get to do that, and so to have any kind of experience doing that is huge.
Oscar Martinez, the third man in there tonight. Outside leg kick right away from Juan SARRIOS. Bobby ZIEHFREUND with a slip on the high kick. SARRIOS takes advantage, jumps on the back right away. ZIEHFREUND looking to work back up to his feet. Wall walking up against the fence. Rotation from ZIEHFREUND now puts SARRIOS up against the fence. A hip toss right there.
He goes right to that crucifix. You know, he wastes no time.
SARRIOS is doing a good job trying to use the fence to push himself off and to bridge that angle. But Bobby's right back to working on that head and arm triangle, and he lets go of it, but is back now into mount position. He has the grapevines. SARRIOS is trying to kick those out and work away, but Bobby is in a very solid position right now. He is also with his opponent's head right backed up against the fence in his corner. Big bridge of the hips right there from SARRIOS, but Bobby is able to maintain. However, SARRIOS continues to run it and ended up in a neutral position. Now Bobby's right back on top.
Big overhand.
Halfway through round one.
Big deep breath by SARRIOS.
SARRIOS is a very intense guy. He's very religious. He's a kid who puts the sign of the cross whenever he makes weight. You know, he's a kid who's strong in his faith and believes that he is a warrior of God.
You know, I just wonder, not being able to make the weight, how is he going to react when things get tough like they are right now? If you quit making weight when it comes to that, are you going to quit in the fight is a question that we need answered here.
And that's a valid question that you bring to the table there, Josh. You know, I don't know if in that instance, especially because he was coming from out of town, did he just run out of time or what was the situation there? I mean, he had hair the last time that he fought. It's a freshly shaven scalp right now. Did he try to shave the head to get those last few ounces off? I don't know that information right now.
Does that really work?
I mean, if you look at certain examples, depending on how big or thick that mane of hair is, it might be just enough to get you there. But, again, if you have short hair, I don't know how much it's going to do for you.
Josh, if you cut your curly locks, you're not losing the weight. You might lose your girlfriend, but you're not losing the weight.
Right?
Flurry on the feet right there by SARRIOS.
SARRIOS is putting together some combinations here.
Big takedown right at the end of the frame for Bobby ZIEHFREUND. Pretty back and forth affair there in the first round. SARRIOS was definitely bringing the action on the feet. However, Bobby ZIEHFREUND with a couple of takedowns in the process. If you're Sammy Fernandez in the blue corner, gentlemen, what are you offering to Juan SARRIOS?
You know, he needs to match the level. He's having a hard time matching the level, and he's just late to the punch on the takedown. He's getting taken down. And when he gets taken down, he's having a hard time getting back to his feet. The ref, you know, gave him a favor, stood him up there, but he's got to match the level. If he doesn't match the level, he's going to be in trouble.
Certainly, and I mean, it's I think that sometimes, do you guys ever factor in when you're fighting who the official is, and in a particular position, this guy might have a quick trigger to stand you up, or is that something that you think about at all when you're coming into a contest?
I don't want to say that I've never thought about it before, but it's definitely not something that's at the forefront of my mind.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's something that you've definitely thought about after you've had to deal with the woes of Herb Dean at times, Cody.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, I kind of chalk that one up to just, like, inconsistency, but most refs are going to do a pretty good job and at least be consistent, you know, and that's all you can really ask for is consistency in the ref.
And I will say that Oscar Martinez is very consistent in that respect. He's one of the most on top of it guys in terms of making a call, and he's confident in his call. Hey, sometimes everybody has their moments that might not be what everybody agrees with, but you can at least, as you mentioned, respect the consistency and the confidence in the work.
Big takedown by Bobby. Pushing him up at the cage right now.
Yeah, Bobby needs to try to break his posture here.
Now, I know it wasn't an easy cut for ZIEHFREUND either, but, you know, I mean, Cody and Josh, you guys have cut weight for so long, and Cody, you were a collegiate wrestler as well. When you've had to do it that many times, you know, you've had some rough cuts in the process, but does that experience with having a tough cut help as you then continue throughout your career to say, hey, you know what, I've been here before, and yeah, that sucked, but I know what I need to do to get myself back right?
Yeah, I think that coupled with Mark Montoya, you know, and the fear of God that he puts in you for missing weight, I think those two things together kind of go hand in hand to keep you from to help you not miss weight. Not that it never happens, but those two are great motivators.
Certainly, and right there, folks, we had 1 point deducted right there from Juan SARRIOS from the bottom by referee Oscar Martinez.
He gave him the position and a point. You don't see that too often.
I like what Bobby's doing here. Oh, he had such a good dominant position there.
But to be fair, speaking about the consistency again, I mean, he let him know you got to work to advance, and nothing happened in that short time frame. So, you know what? Is what it is. Got to make the adjustment, be an athlete here.
Yeah, super similar to the first round. You know, he is being consistent with his stoppage. Bobby needs to go high guard.
Good timing on the level change for the takedown right there by Bobby ZIEHFREUND.
Bobby needs to keep a high guard. Everything SARRIOS is throwing is looping and wide, and if he keeps a high guard, he'll catch it on the guard instead of the chin. You know, he's been hit a couple times just because he's dropping his hands a little bit.
Certainly, that's a fair point right there, Cody. I think that, you know, with someone like Bobby coming from a grappling background, that's one of those lessons that he's going to continue to have to learn over the course of this early portion of his career.
For sure, absolutely. That's what these are for, right? That's what the AMEs are for. You got to learn what kind of fighter you are, how it translates, what kind of improvements you need to make.
Short time here in the second round. Bobby ZIEHFREUND looking to score a last couple of points here before the round concludes. All right, we got the insight of what might have been happening in the blue corner for the last round in between 1 and 2. Now as we enter the third and final round, gentlemen, if you are Clay Matza or Jacoby Big Toe Jones, both veterans of our Colorado Combat Club cage, what are you offering Bobby ZIEHFREUND?
You know, I think he just needs to keep doing what he's doing, but get a little busier on top. You know, he's been stood up twice, and he's ended both rounds in good position to do damage. So just get to those positions quicker, right, and get busy on top. I think he can put this kid away, but, you know, you're up. You would think you're up 2-0. Keep doing what you're doing. Try to get a little busier on top, score some more points. But so far, he's putting together a great fight.
Certainly. Now, in your opinion so far, do you believe that SARRIOS needs to find a finish to win this fight, or are we looking at a 1-1 scrap so far?
I think with the point deduction, he's definitely going to need to find a finish. You know, at best, he's looking at, if he wins this round, potentially maybe if they gave him the first round, he could be looking at a draw, but he's going to need a finish, I think.
Yeah, great point, Cody. The point deduction slipped my mind momentarily.
And he's coming out like he's working for it, too.
I mean, you do like to see a sense of urgency, especially when you're in that type of position.
And this is a great test for Bobby as well, because this kid is not going away. He's not going to concede to the pressure. He's going to come and he's going to fight.
And Bobby was able to shake him right off the back right there with only the single hook in.
See, this is where Bobby needs to get busy, though. He needs to push himself here. I think he's up at least 2-0, with potentially the second round being a 10-8 with the point deduction.
And ZIEHFREUND right with his head of SARRIOS right up against his corner, landing a couple of knees to the body there. So I think that, you know, telepathically he's hearing what you're telling him there, Cody.
I hope so. But this is, you know, this is what the AMEs are for. You need to work through these positions. You need to make yourself uncomfortable. It's not necessarily, it is about winning. It's always about winning, but it's definitely about improving as a fighter and improving under the lights. You know, there's something to be said for improving in the gym, but you really need to shine under the lights, and the only way you're going to do that is to push yourself here.
Definitely, and right there on the attempted get-up, it looked like SARRIOS turned the wrong way. What he should be looking to do, correct me if I'm wrong, he should be trying to get that left knee down to the mat and start to work his back up against the fence.
Yeah, for sure. He's kind of in big trouble now. He's mounted, and he doesn't really he can't get his feet to the cage. Last time he wall walked with the cage. he's going to have to get his arms involved, kind of as we saw earlier in the night. You know, he's got to get hands on hips, and he's going to have to eat a few to get up, but it's going to be tough to just bridge out against a strong wrestler like Bobby.
Definitely, and with already being a couple of stand-ups so far, and even though this is a dominant position right now, Oscar Martinez does have a quick look or has a keen eye on these guys right now. You can imagine that he could be saying, if the action slows up at all, to continue to work.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's going to stand him up, and honestly, that's absurd to me. We're in mount, you know. There's one better position potentially in MMA, which is back mount, both hooks in, you know.
And Bobby is working to that test. He
Correct.
is working. He's not just standing there.
His work rate is more right now than it had been in some of those previous sequences. But still, I mean, keep going, body, head. Do something to not give him a reason to stand you up.
Yeah.
Big bridge of the hips right there from SARRIOS creates a scramble, but Bobby ZIEHFREUND is able to end up in side control, steps right back over to mount.
And, you know, still Martinez looking like he wants to step in after that. I don't really...
I mean, Oscar's a Muay Thai guy, Cody.
I mean, that's great, but...
Oh, 10 seconds left. Is he going to get this finish? Good performance there.
Hey, gutsy performance from both guys in that fight right there.
Yeah.
Speaking with Bobby ZIEHFREUND earlier today, he said that yesterday at the weigh-in, SARRIOS came to him and said, let's put on a show tomorrow. Bobby said, I'm not looking to put on a show, I'm looking to win.
I like it.
And I mean, for the most part, SARRIOS did put on a show. Like, he was not going to give up. He was not going to quit on himself. He kept fighting in every position that he could. It's not, you know, it's just what it is. Bobby is the more experienced, better wrestler, better grappler, and Juan did not have an answer for that.
And we're just seconds away from our official decision with Aaron Barao.